In today's world, aside from having our survival needs covered, one could argue that the most prized possession, the highest value currency in an individual's life regardless of age, ethnicity, gender, religious practices, and social status, has nothing to do with materialism, but rather stems from a basic universal birthright that human beings have been striving the most for: to be happy. As a matter of fact, March 20 is marked by a worldwide event organized by the United Nations to promote the idea that feeling happy is a global human right. The first happiness celebration was introduced in 2013 after a UN Assembly resolution was adopted by 193 nations 2 years earlier. Amongst the many organizations actively supporting this important cause is the Raelian movement, a non-profit organization that brings a new explanation for the origin of life based on intelligent design. The Raelian philosophy explains that life on Earth is not the result of a supernatural creation nor of random evolution, but rather a deliberate design by highly advanced beings from another planet using DNA, scientific processes, and art. Traces of the work of these beings, referred to as Elohim in ancient Hebrew, that translates to as those who came from the sky, can be found in many ancient texts, including the Bible, which is an atheist book. Rael, spiritual leader of the Raelian movement, also known as the Prophet of Happiness, has made it his lifelong mission to not only inform the world of our true origins, but also to teach people about the importance of happiness, because it is only by cultivating happiness ourselves that we can increase happiness in the world. So what is happiness? While the interpretation of happiness may vary around the world, it is often characterized as an emotional or mental state. It is also defined as feelings of contentment, satisfaction, and well-being. Happiness, however, is not to be confused with the emotion of joy, which has to do with anything external to us, such as materialistic possessions, events, activity, people, and so on. The distinction between the two is an important one, given that the widely held belief is that anything achieved through external means is key to our happiness. Experiencing joyful moments is more of a come-and-go kind of thing, whereas happiness is cultivated internally, void of any outside sources, and carries longer-lasting effects. However, it requires great discipline to reap the full benefits of what happiness has to offer. According to science, there are many factors to consider when it comes to happiness, starting with our genetics, our internal state of mind, and our environment. Additionally, based on a body of research in the field of epigenetics, what science tells us is that DNA does not dictate our behavior. In other words, our behavior is not genetically programmed or hardwired as previously thought. What constitutes our character and personality is greatly shaped by the quality of our thoughts. They are what contributes to our behavior and decisions all the way leading up to our everyday actions. Ongoing research in epigenetics points out that our brain is constantly being flooded with a barrage of mostly repetitive, conscious and unconscious thoughts. Thoughts trigger emotions. It's our body reacting to them, and in most cases, these emotions are not conducive to positive feelings. And while we all feel a variation of these emotions at one point or another in our lives, it is all the more crucial to carefully select what kind of thoughts we allow to flow in our brains daily, as they determine not only the path we take, but also greatly impact our mental and physical health. So how can we be more happy? Referring back to our extraterrestrial origins, it is worth noting that these scientist creators have literally created humans in their image and equal to them. They are not supernatural gods, but rather human beings just like us. Drawing together their science mastery, art, and love allowed the Elohim to design the masterpiece that we are. We also inherited essential guidelines from them, meant to help us live a life to our fullest potential with balance, harmony, and happiness. Happiness is in our genetic code. We have been created to be happy. For the past 47 years, Rael, messenger of the Elohim, has been teaching the importance of true happiness worldwide, and that happiness is a decision. Yes, you heard that right. While the simple fact of being happy comes with its own set of challenges, how we address them internally is entirely dependent on us as individuals. And realizing this is truly empowering. Rael's invaluable guidance not only tells us that we are responsible for our own happiness, but he also teaches us how we can activate our happiness center at will through meditation. A powerful exercise consists of placing our attention on the part of the brain located right behind our forehead, called the prefrontal cortex, and then to concentrate on our brain's power and strength and its exceptional ability to harmonize itself, and to then choose happiness by visualizing the blood flow and the heat that is created in the left frontal region of the brain where happiness lies. Children are naturally happy until they are subjected to a normative education that triggers the fight-or-flight response mechanisms, leading up to an accumulation of mistrust, fear, and competitive emotions, all contributing factors that make them forget about their true natural state of happiness. As adults, it is important to consciously retrain ourselves to be happy by choosing whether any negative information can access our brain, as well as the capacity to choose whatever we want to hear, see, touch, taste, and smell. Humans are sensual beings. We have been designed to draw pleasure from our environment using our senses. As Rael states, we must develop our senses to get more pleasure from all the things around us that our creators put here for us to enjoy. Sensuality allows us to be connected with ourselves, our environment, our creators, and infinity. Children are masters at exploring their senses, at laughing for no reason, at being happy in the now, and at spreading this happiness around them. We all have this innate wisdom within us. We just have to remind ourselves of it, knowing that we all have the capacity to reclaim rightful ownership of our happiness by adopting a lifestyle and daily habits in support of our well-being, all the while cherishing the beauty of the present moment, giving into spontaneous giggles, and feeling one with everything. After all, the worst that could happen is that we feel permanently happy.